on this computer. Okay. So all of you have done your homework last week. I think great job, all of you. Once you have already learned the consonants, now is the time for us to learn the vowel markings. Okay, they are not vowels per se, but they are vowel markings. Okay, they are what we call the Nikud. In Hebrew, the Nikud is the vowel marking. See, ancient Hebrew is actually written with just the consonants. There were no vowels at all in Hebrew. Okay, no vowels in Hebrew. Okay, so what happened is that you can only see the words like this, without any vowels at all. Okay, they are all consonants. These are all consonants. So how do we read the Hebrew when there's no vowel? In English, you also need vowels as well. Okay, that is why during the 9th to the 10th century AD, all right, the Masoretic scholars actually came out with a set of pointings, okay, pointings or the markings. Okay, these are all the dashes, right? All the dashes and the uh, what they call that dots, okay, and they are basically to help the Hebrew people themselves learn how to read the text, the Hebrew text, using all these markings and so on. Now, for most of us who do not know Hebrew, initially when I look at this, I say, pening lah, how to memorize all this, one dot, two dots, three dots, and all this. Okay, so I'm going to share with you how to remember them. These are just mnemonics, okay, mnemonics that will help you to remember. Okay, so this is what this session is all about. Okay, of course you can actually read in the textbooks, okay, but you're going to have difficulty trying to remember them. Okay, now, you look at this, um, all these categories, you actually relate that to the A, E, I, O, U. Okay, when I saw this video on YouTube, okay, I began to understand. Oh, okay, this is the A category. All these are the A category vowels. Okay, vowel pointings. Then E is all this here. I is this one here. O is this, and U is O here. Okay, that actually sheds new light as far as learning how to read Hebrew. Okay, because without all this, by looking at the textbooks alone, it is difficult for us to try to even memorize all these different vowels pointing. Okay, so let us see how the mnemonics will work for you. It worked for me. I just want you to imagine firstly, if you look at the word FTBLL, how many people can really read this word FTBLL? What is this FTBLL? What does this stand for? Can anyone
Football.
try?
Football.
How do you know it's football? Can it not be?
Football.
Can, can it not be? Can it not be
Because
Fat
it's
Bell?
because it's I'm familiar with
Football.
short form or something like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Commonly spoken,
What about Fat Bell or Fat Bull? It
not
can
common
also
word.
be, yeah, it can also be Fat Bell also,
No.
right? Right?
Can.
It can be fat bull as well, right? The bull is very fat, no fat
Mm.
bull. Okay,
Yes.
right. But of course, I would say it should be football. Okay, because most people will read it as football. Okay, what about this one? The second one.
We
We
like to play
play
football.
football. Yes. So in the context,
We
we like to play football. Okay, in the context of this sentence, then you'll be able to tell that the word is football. Okay, it cannot be we like to play fatball. Okay, because of the context here, it's actually football. Okay, what about this one here? Those of you who do not know chemistry, can you try
This bottle,
this bottle
that chemistry, this
This
bottle
bottle is
is
made from
made from
from
carbon
okay,
something.
okay,
Polycarbonate.
polycarbonate. Okay, those who know carbonate, polycarbonate. Right. For people who know chemistry, they will have no problem. They'll say polycarbonate straight away. Okay. So without all these vowels, it's sometimes difficult for people to guess, what is the word here. Okay. Because if you do not know the language well, you can actually mean a lot of things. Okay, like for a brother said football, but somebody who doesn't know English, he will be guessing what is this, what is this word? Okay, and this is what happens in the with the Hebrew language. After many years of being dispersed, all over the world, they had started to lose their mother tongue. Okay, and that one is a problem for even the Jewish people as well. So that is the reason why, to preserve that pronunciation, they came up with this vowel system. Okay, and that is why it's important. Now, the vowel system, as I said just now, it also follows the A-E-I-O-U vowel system. Okay, like the word football actually consists of consonants. Okay, and it consists of vowels as well. Okay, like this. Okay, so when the Nikud was actually introduced, it was actually to help people who did not understand Hebrew. Okay, to learn to read Hebrew. Okay, it is also helpful for us as well because we are non-Jews. Okay, we want to learn Hebrew, and
Yeah.
we need this kind of vowel system to help us to learn. Okay, that is why the Nikud is actually very useful. But if you go to Israel today, right, they do not use the vowel system at all. Okay, they do not use the vowel system or the vowel pointings, and this is basically because they try to go back to the original without the consonant, without the vowels, just the consonants alone. Okay, um, so all these vowels actually were added into the consonantal Hebrew text. Okay, because the Hebrew Bible was actually written basically just with the consonants, and so this, in order to preserve that Hebrew text without changing any letter or altering any letter, of the text itself. That's why they added in this Nikud. Okay, Nikud. Okay, so it you just have to remember that Nikuds are all dots and dashes. Okay, and they behave like vowels, or they behave as vowels. Okay, so far no problem, huh? So like I mentioned just now, A-E-I-O-U. Okay, now how do you remember all the A vowels? All the A vowels, how do you remember it? Okay, for me, okay, an easy way to remember is, as long as you see the line of the dashes, whether it is like this one's horizontal line or like a T like that, it's like a comet's tail, okay, like that, or with the double dots, as long as you see one line, okay, you think of the A vowel. Is it easy to remember? With one line or two lines, it is an A vowel. Okay. Now, if there are two or more dots, okay, you say 2, 3, 2, and 5 dots. Okay, right? This one has got two dots, but this has got a line also. Okay. So as long as you see two or more dots without the lines, okay, you think of the E vowel. Okay, so far no problem, right? We have the AE now. Then we have the IOU. Okay, that's one dot. Okay, one dot here, one dot here, and one dot here. Okay, I'll show you how to remember it. Okay, as long as you see the one dot, it's either I, O, or U. Okay, and then after that, you think of these three little dots here is a U, right? How do you remember what these dots are all about? Okay, now that you already can see that it belongs to a different category, right? I'll repeat again. If you see a line, okay, or dash like this, is an A vowel. If you see two or more dots without lines, it's an E vowel. Okay, if you see one dot, one dot, one dot, okay, is I, O, and U. And if you see the three dots here, it's a U. That's the last category. All right. Now we're going to go through one by one. Okay. The A vowel is the one that has got a line like this. Okay. Okay. This is what we call a patah. Patah. Okay. For those of you who know Bahasa Malaysia or Malay, okay, you talk about the stick, a long stick, and you patahkan. You break it. So a stick that you break it, you call it patah. Okay, patah. Okay, this is easy to remember. All right, when you think of a stick, you break it. Patah. Okay, patah. All right, and then you have this one. Okay, this looks like a T. Okay, looks like a T, but actually, if you think of it is like it looks like a tail of a comet, like a tail of comet here. Why I say a tail of comet is just for easy remembrance is kamats or comets. Some people say comets or kamats. Okay, so one line is called a pata. Okay, and like a T like this, like a Halley's comet tail. Okay, is a kamats. Okay, now these are two A vowels, right? These are all A vowels. What's the difference between a pata and a kamats? Okay, a pata, okay, it takes shorter time for you to write a pata like this, one line only, okay, shorter time. So we remember this as a short A vowel, a short A vowel like this, a short A vowel. But kamats take a longer time, right? Because you have to write this way and then you have to write this way. Takes a bit longer time to write, right? So this is a longer A vowel. Okay, so we write it this way. The transliteration is this way, all right? So that's easy to remember. Once you use the mnemonics, okay, you have no problem trying to remember it. Okay, all right. Now let's go on looking at this one here. You have a pata as well, right? A line over here, right? And you have a two dots, okay? A two dots here. This is actually what we call a shiva, a compounded shiva. Compounded shiva means a shiva, okay? You'll see later the shiva is a two dot. A compounded shiva means it includes another vowel pointing as well. Okay, so this is a compounded or combined, okay, compounded shiva. Okay, and this is what we call the hataf pata. Hataf pata. Hataf is more like a reduced, okay, reduced hataf, or you can think of it as half, half, half pata. Okay, hataf pata. Okay, reduced a vowel. So the reduced A vowel is written like this, like a little U thing here, like that. Okay, right. Then you have another one, which is kamats, hataf kamats, okay, or hataf kamats. Okay, so you think in terms of the kamats here, and you think you have the schwa here as well. So it's a reduced A vowel. Okay, reduced A vowel. And most of the time it's actually an O. Okay, but don't worry about that first. Okay, we don't worry about that. So now we see these are all the A vowel categories. Okay, these are all the A vowel categories. How do you know it's an A vowel category? You see there are lines and dashes, or lines or dashes. Okay, now shorter is called a pata. Okay, kamats is a longer A vowel, and these are the two reduced A vowels. Okay, these are the two reduced A vowels, right? So
Why is
now
it
sorry.
why is it spelled QAMETZ here below and
Okay,
A?
okay, that's to confuse you. That's to confuse you. The reason is because in different textbooks, okay, in different textbooks, I want you to be familiar as well. In different textbooks, you will see different spellings being used. Okay, so some will use kamats. Okay, some will use kamets. Okay, so that is basically the reason why I use two different versions, right? So that you are exposed to the different spellings that different textbook would use, right? So the idea is when you learn Hebrew, you do not learn the transliteration of it. You do not try to remember Hebrew by learning how to spell kamats, whether it's kamets or kamats. Okay, you learn Hebrew by pronouncing this. Okay, looking at this and say this is kamats. Okay, all right. There's another spelling to the word kamats as well. It's actually Kamats. I've seen this with TZ. Okay, I've seen this also, and I've also seen something like Kamats. Okay, TS. All right, this also occurs as well, and there's also another one which is Qamats. Okay, so there are different transliteration. Don't worry about that. It's remember the sound kamats. Okay, as long as you see the like a T shape, you know it's a kamats. Okay, kamats. Okay, right. So that is the reason why we intentionally put the different spellings here. Okay, right. So this is all the A category of the vowel pointings. Right now, if you have, let's say, for example, okay, this consonant. Can anyone tell me what is this consonant? Waf. Okay, waf. Okay, now waf with a patah at the bottom. Okay, patah is a short A vowel. So how do you pronounce this word? This is a syllable.
Wow.
Correct. That is Bahasa Malaysia. That's Malay. All right. That's Hebrew as well. Okay. WA is wa. Okay. So basically, it works in the same way as well. All right. So for those of us who have gone through the Malay language system, we have no problem because we know how the suku kata or the syllables work, right? So like this, we know waf and the pata is wa. Okay. Then we have, what is this consonant here?
Resh.
Resh with the kamats. How do you pronounce it?
Ra.
Ra. Right? That's a longer A vowel. Okay. Ra. Okay. We stretch it a bit longer. Okay. But in real life, we don't really stretch it that much. Okay. We don't really stretch it that much. The distinction between the pata and the kamat is very minimal. But we just want us to remember this is a longer A vowel and this is a shorter A vowel. Okay. So that we know this is a longer A, we pronounce it Ra. Okay, this is Wa. Okay, Wa. Okay, and even okay. So when you have the second class of vowels is when you have two or more dots. Okay, there are no dashes, no lines or whatever. Okay, these are called the E vowels. Okay, the E vowels, and there are four of them. Okay, there are four of them, right? Now two dots here. Okay, two dots here. I want you to put your two fingers, all right? Point to your eyes, okay? Point to your eyes and say se re. Can you do that? Se re.
Re.
Se re. Okay, now try to stretch as long as you can. Se re. Se re. Okay, now the reason why I say stretch as long as you can is because that sere is a longer E vowel. It's a longer E vowel. So sere is a longer E vowel. The other one is sego. Say sego like a dart. You're throwing the dart. Sego, sego, very fast. Sego, sego. Can you all say that? Sego, sego. Sego. Okay, sego is a shorter E vowel. It's just a normal E vowel. Okay, so here we have a E, right, with a line stretch like this. That means it's a longer E vowel, and this one is just an E vowel, right? Now you learn two vowel pointings already. One that is a longer E vowel, that's a shorter E vowel. All right. There's another one which is what you call the schwa. In English, we also have schwa as well. Okay. English, we have the schwa as well. And then this one here is a hatha sego, because there's a sego here. The three dots here is a sego. So this is a hatha sego. Okay. Let me show you the spelling here. Okay, right? And schwa and hataf sego. All right. So the hataf sego is the very short E vowel. It's written this way, right? With a little pot on top of it. Okay, so this is a reduced E vowel. Now the word Elohim is slightly like this, Aleph. Okay, and then because there's a hataf sego here, right? So it is pronounced as eh, right? Very short. reduced E vowel. Then you have Lamed with a dot here is low, okay, and then you have Hey, right, with a dot here and a yod here. Okay, this is a dot and a yod, so it's a I, but a longer I vowel is called a metalectionist. Okay, but never mind. You think of it as an I here first with a yod here, right? So Elohim with a mem suffix, right? So when you look at this Hataf Sego here is F, very short E vowel, like this, E vowel. Okay, Elohim, okay, Elohim, okay, right. Then we have another one which is called the Shua. Okay, a Shua is basically two dots like this, two dots like this. Okay, we will learn later there are two types of Shua, right? One which is vocal Shua, and the other one is a silent Shua. Okay, now let's go on. Okay, so now we have four examples here. Anyone can tell me how you pronounce this? How do you pronounce this?
Le.
Le. Okay, that the sere is a long E vowel. So le. Okay. What about this one here?
What?
Re.
Re.
Okay, it's a short E vowel. Okay, re. Okay.
Re.
What about this one here? Remember the word I mentioned just now?
Ale.
Elohim. Elohim. Remember Elohim?
Yes.
The short E vowel is here, right? Elohim. Okay. What about this one here? What is this consonant?
Ka,
Fe.
isn't it?
Fe. Fe. Okay.
Fe.
Fe with the.
Fe.
Let's say this shua is a vocal shua. So how do you pronounce it?
Fe.
Fe. Okay. Right.
Fe.
Fe. Oh, it's almost silent. Almost silent. Okay. All right. It's a vocal shua is nearly silent. Okay. But there's also another shua which is totally silent. Okay. Totally silent. Now, how do we represent the sere? Once again, I write it down here for you. There's one line on top. Sego is like this, E, right? Now, Hatha Sego is like this with a little kind of pot thing here on top. Okay, it's like a woman carrying a pot on top of his of her head. You know, that's a Hatha Sego. Okay, and then there's a Shua. Okay, a Shua is basically two different forms. One is the silent schwa, and the other one is the vocal schwa. Let's look at the vocal schwa first. Okay, vocal schwa is written upside down E, like this. Okay, upside down E. All right. The other one is a silent schwa. A silent schwa is just a little dash here, a little hyphen there. Okay, so these are all the representations that you will see in the transliteration. Okay, that whenever you want to do a transliteration of the Hebrew word, you use.
Steven.
Yes. Yes.
Can you please repeat how to pronounce that Elohim, that Aleph with the Hatap?
Hataf Segol, is Elohim, Elohim. Very, very short, very short.
L. Is it L?
No, it's
Okay.
Elohim, Elohim, Elohim. Okay, right. So you have different representations for your transliteration. So it's useful for us because we know this is a long E vowel. This is the normal E vowel, and then this is the sego is the reduced E vowel. Okay, and then here this is the silent schwa, and this is a vocal schwa. A vocal schwa is written an upside down E, like an upside down E here. Okay, so here again, I summarize. As long as you see two or more dots, you think of what? You think of the E vowels. Okay, two or more dots is the E vowel. Okay, sere. Okay, look at the eyes here, sere. Okay, the other one,
A.
stego, very fast. very fast. Segol is a short E vowel. Okay, then you have
Yes.
Hatat Segol. Okay, Hatat Segol, and then you have the Shua. Okay, so you have learned the two important A and E vowels. Okay, so it's easy to remember when you do it this way, and mnemonics will help you. Textbooks, we have a lot of problem. You just look at the textbook, you bang san, you go crazy over it. I had difficulties initially until I started coming up with some mnemonics. Okay, now now think of the I vowel now. Okay, the I vowel. Remember, the I vowel is a dot at the bottom. When you talk about the I vowel, okay, in English, the dot is always at the top, right? Always at the
Yeah.
top. Now, but in Hebrew, let's assume that this is a mirror here. Okay, this is a mirror here. Okay, it is a mirror image. In English, the I is on top, the dot is on top. In Hebrew, we say, oh, the I is always on the bottom. Okay, at the bottom, right? Because it's like a mirror image. You see some of the letters are also like a mirror image. Like for example, the rash and our R is like a mirror image. The cough and our Q is like a mirror image as well of each other. I do not know why. Okay, but that is a way of for us to help us to remember. Okay, so if you see the dot at the bottom, think of our I on top. Hebrew it is I is the dot is at the bottom. Okay, this vowel is called a hirik. Okay, hirik. Right now, the way I spell it is like this: Hiriq. Okay, and I emphasize on the I here, so it's easy for you to remember. Hirik. Okay, hirik. Okay, some books will spell it as hirik. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, just know it is hirik or hirik. Right, right. So this is basically an I vowel. When you see the two I's here, hirik. Okay, even when you pronounce it hirik, you think of the I vowels. Okay, I vowels. Now, of course, as I said just now, sometimes it is also spelled as Hireq. Okay, Hireq, hirik or hirik. I prefer this Hiriq because I can remember that this is an I vowel. Okay, because of the I here, the I that is used in even the word hirik here. See, hirik. Okay, so the I is actually a dot at the bottom compared to the English I, the dot is on top. Okay, so you have already learned three classes of vowels. Okay, so not difficult at all. So now let's look at this one. What is this consonant?
A.
Sorry,
Hey.
hey, yes, with the hirik here,
He.
he,
He.
he,
Yeah.
okay, he, all right, he. So basically, this is how you pronounce it, he, all right, he, right? Okay, so now how do you remember uh, the other two vowels? Okay, how do you remember the other two vowels? Now you know this at the bottom, okay, all right, it is an I vowel, all right? Okay, now imagine you pick up the ball, okay, in a workshop, normally we do this as a game, all right? You pick up the ball and then you throw it high up, as high as you can, all right? You can, this is an I. And then after that, you reach the top there, you say O, O. Okay, that's an O vowel. Okay, and then when the boy catches it, you say U. Okay, you can practice it with your children. Throw the ball, pick up the ball from the floor, throw it high as you can. Don't touch the, the roof or the ceiling, right? You just throw it high up, okay, and you say I O, and when he catches it, you say you. I-O-U, right? It's easy to remember, right? I-O-U, okay? So do I owe you anything? Assignments, okay? Assignments. Okay, so now we just remember I is at the bottom, right? When the ball reaches to the top, there is O. When the boy catches the ball, right, it's a U. I-O-U, okay? Now, if you look at it again, right? you have learned the I vowel. Now you have learned the O vowel. Now you are learning the O vowel. You see the O vowel is at the top here. Imagine this is an alphabet. This is a Hebrew alphabet. Let's say, for example, I write here Tav. Okay, I write a Tav here, right? Right, and I will put a little dot on top of the Tav here. So this becomes
Two.
To. Okay, because this is a O vowel. All right, the holam, we call this the holam. All right, holam is an O vowel. Okay, an O vowel on top here. Right. Remember, the boy picks up the ball and he throws it up. All right, when it reaches the top, is an O vowel. Okay, and so this one here, how do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce this?
Po.
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 Po. Po. Okay, po. Right,
Po.
very good. Po.
Po.
Okay, so now you have almost learned everything. Okay, all the Nikuds are already in your at your fingertips. Congratulations. Okay, now let's look at the next. Okay, this is an O vowel. Okay, so like this, po. Okay, and then this is what it appears as. Now, the other vowel is the U vowel. Okay, U vowel is when the boy catches the ball, right? The boy catches a baseball. Okay, and so like this. Okay, the ball on the ground is an I. You throw it high up, it's an O, right? And when the boy catches it, okay, is a U vowel, I-O-U, all right? So a U vowel will appear in the middle. See, the dot here is in the middle. Okay, it's like the boy catches the ball, catches the ball, okay? So this is actually in the middle. Okay, so this is what you call the shuruk. Okay, shuruk. Like I mentioned just now, it can also be spelled as S-H-U-R-U-K. Right? Some people will spell it as S-H-U-R-U-K. Okay, some people will even spell it as shurek. Okay, shurek. Okay, all right. Don't worry about it as long as you know this dot here. You know it's a shurek or shuruk or shuruk. Okay, with the different spellings here. Okay, the transliteration is something that people will not be able nobody has standardized the spelling for the transliteration. Okay, so just remember, as long as it's a middle, it's a shuruk. All right, that's a U vowel. Okay, then the next one is another U vowel as well. Okay, it is like a ping pong ball. Okay, that's rolling down the staircase. Dong, dong, dong. All right. Now, this ping pong ball that rolls down the staircase, it takes a longer time for it to make the sound U, 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 U. Okay, so this is how you remember a shuruk is. Okay, let me get the spotlight. Okay, a shuruk is a long U vowel. Okay, right? And then this one is a short U vowel, right? A short U vowel. Sorry, I shouldn't have said it takes a longer time for it to go down, okay? But this is a U vowel, it's a shorter U vowel, and this is a longer U vowel. Now, you will learn afterwards, okay, when you have all this dot thing here, right? As part of as below or up above or whatever of the consonant, this is actually a shorter U vowel. And then when you have a wa, okay, with a dot here, then this is a longer U vowel. This is what we call a meta-lectionist. Okay, meta-lectionist means you have a longer, even longer U vowel. So in other words, your U is to be written this way, okay, like an arrowhead. Okay, and this one is a normal U vowel, just a U. All right. So this is a short, this is a very long. Okay, you can say this is a very long U vowel. Okay, a shuruk, and the short one is called a kibbutz. See, kibbutz, right? So when you have a shuruk and kibbutz, okay, they are all both U vowels. Okay, you have to try to find a way to remember this is shuruk, all right, and this is kibbutz. Okay, shuruk and kibbutz. Okay, kibbutz. Okay, so you have learned all the vowel system, right? So you'll be able to learn to read the Hebrew text, right? By knowing the consonants, which you did last week, and this week you know all the vowels that you need to know. Okay, let's do a little bit of a guess here. Okay, Anela, are you there? And a little quiz.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I'm here.
yeah, you can take over now.
Okay, fine. You just want, okay, fine. What we'll do is we'll just have everybody mute, and then, whoever feels brave enough can unmute and answer. Okay, so we will begin with, otherwise, if everybody answers, there will be confusion. So
Okay.
one person at a time. Okay. So the first is the A class vowel. Okay. And so if you remember the long vowel, can anybody tell me the name? The name of the long A class vowel.
Kamats.
If you're brave enough, go ahead, unmute and say it. Even if it is wrong, it doesn't matter. We are among friends.
Kamats.
Kamats. Yes, kamats. Very good. Very good. Okay. Very good. Next, we'll move on to the short A vowel. Anybody? Unmute and go. Patah. Very good. Very good. Very good. Patah. Very good. Now we have the next one, the very short A vowel or the reduced A vowel. Go ahead and say it. Hataf, patah. Yes. Hataf, patah. Very good. Okay. And the next one is the long A vowel, which includes the kamats and the hey. It is the kamats hey vowel. Okay. You probably did not see it previously, but you see it in this chart. It is using the kamats vowel and the letter hey. So in this case, the letter hey does not act like a consonant. It is part of the vowel system, and it is called the kamats hey. Okay, and it is just a long A vowel, ah. Okay, but remember when you see this hey, the kamats and the hey after that, and if hey does not have any vowel attached to it, remember hey is part of the long A vowel, which is the kamats hey vowel. Okay. All right. Shall we move on to the next one? The next class, E class vowel. Okay. The long, you remember More saying about, moving your fingers across the forehead. Go ahead and unmute one of y'all and tell me, what does this long E vowel, what do you call it? What is the name? Sere. Yes, sere. Okay, now we are exaggerating because just to help us remember, it is the long E vowel. Okay, the next one, the short E vowel, not as long as sere. Somebody please. Segol. Segol. Very good. Then you have the reduced E vowel. The reduced E vowel. What is that, please? Hataf segol. Very good. Very, very good. So in Hindi, we say shabash, which means very good. Hataf segol. Okay.
Shabash,
And
Shabash
then
is also Malay also.
at the end, again, this is something.
Shabash is also in Malay also. Yeah, same word. Shabash.
Okay. Okay. So the last bit is something called sabash. Shabash is shabash. We say shabash, which is very good. Okay, and so the last one is, again, you have the vowel with a consonant. See, you've seen the yod consonant. Okay, so now you're wondering what are these two doing together? So just as we explained earlier about the kamats hey, here again you will find in certain Hebrew words you will have the segol and the yod. So at this time, if the yod does not have any vowel attached to it, it has a vowel of its own, then it is part of the long E vowel, okay? And it is known as the segol yod or the sere yod. Both are long E vowels, okay? Both are long E vowels. So this is what you see in some of the words wherein the consonants like hey, yod, or vav will be used as part of the vowel system. So here again, you have the sere yod and the Segol Yod. Both of them are the long E vowels. Okay. So now we will move on to the next class, which is the I class vowels. And okay, so now we have the I class vowel. And if you remember, in English, you have the dot of the I placed on top, but in Hebrew, you have it placed below the letter. And can somebody tell me, what does this vowel mean? Sorry, what is the name of this vowel, please? Anybody?
Yod.
Is it Hirik? Hirik?
Hirik. Yes,
Hirik.
just Hirik. Yes, Hirik Yod. You can begin. You can begin with Hirik if you just have a dot. And I just want you to remember, okay, when you say the word Hirik, you're actually smiling. Okay, so remember like that. Okay, Hirik. So it's a nice word to say, Hirik. Okay, and then you have, just like you saw the Kamatz He and the Segol Yod, you have the Hirik Yod. Again, the Yod in this case is not acting as a consonant. It is part of the vowel. It is part of the vowel. It makes the vowel longer sound. Okay, so a longer I sound. So Hirik Yod. Hirik Yod. Sometimes you will just find just the Hirik. Sometimes you will find the Hirik Yod. That is, you'll have the dot below the letter and then the Yod with no vowel of its own. So then you should remember it is the Hirik Yod. Okay. So you have the Hirik and the Hirik Yod. Hirik Yod and the Hirik. All right. Now we'll go ahead and we will move on to the O vowel. Okay. So can anybody tell me again, if it's placed on top, what is that vowel called?
Holem.
Holem. Holem. Yes, very good. Holem. So you have the Holem vowel, okay, which is the O sound, okay. And then you have the, again, you will find this, Moritz, should I go ahead and speak about this, or you want to say about the next one?
You can go ahead. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Kamatz Hatuf.
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, fine. This is, if you may wonder what is this Kamatz vowel doing here? But this is actually an O class vowel called the Kamatz Hatuf. Kamatz Hatuf, and it has a short O sound, like how you say the word God. Okay, the O, the sound of the O in the word God is how you would pronounce this vowel. Now you may be confused. How do I know if it's the Kamatz or the Kamatz Hatuf? Don't worry. When we get on with the lesson, you will know when you will pronounce it as a short O vowel, like the word God, or the long A vowel, like A or A. Okay, so this is actually, that is why it is placed in the O class vowel. It is the Kamatz Hatuf vowel. Kamatz Hatuf. It's the short O class vowel. And to remember the sound, you remember the word God, or that is the sound that it gives. Okay. And then that is why when we did the Hatef Kamatz, More said that it is actually an O sound. If you move on to the next one, it is an O sound. Okay. Because although you have the Kamatz vowel and the Swas written along with it, the sound that it makes, it is an O sound. Okay. And then finally, okay, moving to the last, so this is the Hataf Kamatz. And then finally, you have, again, like you had the Kamatz He, the Sere Yod, the Segol Yod, or the Hirik Yod. Now you have the Holem Vav. Holem Vav. And that just means the Vav is used along with the Holem just to elongate the O sound. Okay, so it is the long O vowel. It is the long O vowel. So O, okay? So sometimes you will just find just a dot. Like if you look at the word Elohim, okay? On top of the letter Lamed, you just have a dot. That's the Holem. This Holem with the Vav, it is the Holem Vav. It is only the long O vowel. Okay, and all of this is useful to remember, yes, in terms of pronunciation, but also when we move on to grammar. Okay, so you have the long O vowel, which is the Holem vowel. And then finally, moving on to the last class of vowels, the U class, and you have, yes, can somebody tell me? The Shuruk. Shuruk, okay? And always remember the Shuruk vowel is written with the vav and the dot in the middle or in its bosom, okay? The Shuruk vowel is written with the vav and the dot in its bosom. That is your Shuruk vowel. And that is the long U vowel. It is the long U vowel. And then you have the short U vowel, which is called the kibbutz, okay? So can somebody, okay, since I've already given the name of that vowel, can somebody pronounce that syllable, the consonant along with the vowel? Can somebody tell me how will you sound this vowel, this syllable? Go ahead. It's okay if we make mistakes.
Two.
Two.
Excellent.
Is that-
Two. Yes. Is it a?
Two. It's tav, right?
Hello?
It's
Is there a
yeah.
question? Two.
Two.
Yes. It's the tav consonant, yes, and you have the kibbutz, the short U vowel, so it's two.
Two. Very good. Okay. Okay,
yeah.
maybe I can explain a little bit more before I go to the next session. Okay. You know the Hebrew consonants form the text, right? Okay. At some point during the Old Testament time, three of the consonants were used as though they were vowels. Okay. One of it is hey, the other one is a yod, and the third one is a waf. Now, what happens is that later, after the 9th century, the 8th or 9th century or 10th century AD, right? Much later, okay, because there's a waf here, okay, there's a waf here, right? It can be either a O, read as an O, or it can be read as a U, okay? And now, how do we know, how do we differentiate it? The Masoretic scholars use the dot here, added here. This is they will say this waf is an O, okay? And then this one is U, okay? So the waf here, in this case, waf here, the yod here, and the hey here are the what you call the three full letter vowels, okay? They are not really vowels, they are consonants, but they behave like vowels, okay? And together with the kamats here, all right, the hey becomes kamats hey, right? And this is what you call, in English, we call the mater lectionis. Mater, I will mention this again later, but I'll just give you a um, brief explanation. This is what you call the mater lectionis. Okay, it usually is a longer a vowel. Okay, compared to this one here. Okay, and this one a yod with a sere and a sego. This is a longer, right? So this is also a mater lectionis as well. Okay, and then you have this one also a mater lectionis. So this is a longer, very much longer. Okay, this is also another very long U. Remember longer U because of the waf here, because of the waf here, because of the yod here, right? And because of the hey here, right? Okay, so that is to give you an idea. Later we'll come back to it again, right?
Stephen, may I
Yes.
just summarize a little?
Yes.
Okay, that's good for me. May I just add in a few words?
Can.
For this one is vowel. It's very similar to Bahasa Melayu. A, E, I, E, O, U, U. It really sounds very, very alike like the Bahasa Melayu. So in the way that you see the kamas, AR, this is, the column is long one. So you have the kamas is R, long A. Whereas the short vowel here, pata, there is a R. Kamas is R. Pata is R. Whereas hataf kamas is very reduced vowel, very short. So it becomes very short. Long vowels for kamas he is also very long. Okay. So whereas the air here, air, we have the serif is long vowel air. Everybody can practice on your own, but don't need to unmute. Air. Sego, short vowel, air, shorter. Hataf, sego, very short. Sere, yuk, and sego is long vowel. Next come to E. E, long vowel, hiri, yuk, E. Hiri, short vowel, E. Holem, long vowel, O. Kamas, katuf, O. Hataf, kamas, shorter, O. Holem, baf, long vowel, O. Similarly, the last one, U, U. Surut, long vowel, U. Kubus, U. This is a very important summary. With this one, you can remember all. So a bit later, you can print out, I will advise you to print out this thing so that you can do your assignment for translation easily. Another thing is that you see here, come back to kamas here, it's at the bottom. So it's at the bottom of the consonants. We have consonant on top and then the bottom is the consonant. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much, Stephen. Pass back to you.
Okay, just a easy way to remember is if it's a short A vowel, just write as A. Okay, if it's a long A vowel, just make sure that you put a line across it, a straight line across it, just like this line here. See the line here across, right? And if it's a very long A vowel, right, it make an arrowhead that goes all the way up. So in other words, you say A, like a rocket going up there, you know, it's a long A vowel, all right? And then you have reduce, okay, it's like this, okay, a reduce. So when you have a pot on your head here with water, when you walk, you know, those of us who can't really balance, you know, all the water is reduced by the time we reach home, or maybe only half full. Okay, so reduce. Okay, right. This is how you can also this also can help you to remember as well. Okay, it's like a little U on top. Okay, like a little pot on top of the A here. Right. This is just mnemonics for you to help you to remember. Okay, now let's name the vowel, Adela.
Yes, okay. Fine. Again, go ahead and all of y'all mute, and then I will just keep asking the question. One of y'all can unmute and go ahead and name each vowel. Okay, the one that is highlighted in yellow, can somebody tell me what that is?
Pata.
Pata, and it gives the sound ah.
Pata.
Pata.
Kamas.
And the next one? Kamats.
Kamas.
Ah. Yes, kamats. It is the long A vowel ah. Okay. The next one, yes.
Hatapata.
Say that
Hatapata.
again, please.
Hatapata.
Hataf patah. Yes, hataf patah. Okay, very good. It is the short A sound, reduced. Okay.
Hatakamas.
Hataf kamats.
Hatakamas.
Hataf kamats. Yes, very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Now we move on to the next, which is the E class. Okay, what's go ahead. The first one that is highlighted. Somebody please.
Sere.
Sere or sere. The sere. And it is the
Sere.
long E. Okay. A. I'm sorry, not E, but A. Next one.
Segol.
Go.
Segol. And it's a shorter E vowel. Segol. A. Okay.
Shiva.
Next one.
Shiva.
Yes. Shwa. Shwa. Okay.
Swa.
Okay. You will find many spellings. You will see SHCWA, or you may also see SHEVA, or you may also see SHEWA. So all of it is talking about this particular half vowel. Okay. Shwa. Shwa. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Shwa. Okay. And then the next one, the last one there, the reduced E vowel. Louder, please.
Ko.
Hataf segol.
Seko.
Hataf segol. Hataf segol. Hataf segol. Okay. So we have, I'll just go ahead and, okay, we'll move on to the next one. It is the, okay, somebody please. Yes, Eliza. Yes, Eliza. Yes, go ahead. Which one is it?
Hirik.
Hirik. Hirik. And like I told you, no, when you say hirik, you are forced to smile. Hirik. Hirik. Okay. Yes. So it is. And how would you pronounce? What is the sound that it gives? The hirik.
E.
E. E. Yes. E. E sound. Yes. Very good. And again, like it is placed at the bottom, below the letter. Okay. Below the consonant. Okay. Can somebody name the vowel that is placed on top of the letter bet? Can somebody name that vowel? It's placed on top. Holem. Excellent. Holem. And so it gives the sound bo. Bo. So bet with the holem is bo. Bo. Bo.
Povi.
And then,
Povo.
so you, oh, and then you have the vav with the holem. And what do we call that? The long, the holem vav, which is the full letter vowel, which is the long O vowel, the holem vav. This is a holem vav. You have sometimes just the dot put on top of the letter. Sometimes you have the letter along with the vav, and on top of the vav is the dot, and that is the holem vav. It is the long O vav. Vowel, the long O vowel. So the holem vav. All right. Can somebody name the one that is highlighted? What vowel is that?
Shuruk.
Louder. Shuruk. Excellent. Shuruk.
Churuk.
And it is the long U vowel. It is the long U vowel. Okay. And the one that has, three dots placed diagonally, what is that called?
Kubuts.
What vowel is that? Kubuts. Okay. So now under the letter bet, you have the kubuts vowel. So can somebody pronounce the syllable? The bet with the kubuts vowel. Can somebody pronounce that?
Bu.
Bu. Excellent. Bu. Bu. Very good. Very good. Bu. Because it's a shorter U vowel. It's a shorter U vowel.
Okay, so you have learned the consonants last week. This week, you have already done the Nikud. Congratulations. You will be able to read Hebrew very soon. Okay, so let me explain first. The Mater Lectionis, like I mentioned just now, it means learning to read. The Mater Lectionis is a mother of pronunciation and so on. Okay, wait, let me see what happened to the PowerPoint. How come it's not moving? It got stuck.
It's moving here. I can see it moving here though.
Oh, it's moving there.
Yes, on my screen.
Yes, yes. It is
Oh,
moving. It is moving.
it's moving. Okay, now I share screen again. Okay, can you see?
Yes, we can see the screen. Yes, we
Can
can see.
see, yeah? Okay, let me
Yes.
go back to that screen again. Huh? the slide again. Let me see. We have already reached here, Meta Lectionis. Okay, and then let me go to, okay. Okay, can you see now?
Yes, yes, we can
Okay,
see.
so basically the Meta Lectionis is in Latin, it means a reading mother. Okay, like I mentioned just now, around the 9th to the 6th century BCE, okay, that was before Christ, right? The three vowels were introduced and added to the end of the word, and these are like I mentioned just now, the yod, right? The yod, wait, just give me 1 minute. Yod, wav, okay, and the hey, right? So these are the three meta lectionis, or we call it a full letter vowels. Okay. Now the three consonants behave. I say behave as though they are vowels, but they are actually not vowels. Okay, they are not vowels. They are still consonants. Okay. Therefore, like for example, the word can also appear either as, okay, you can see here the meta lectionis here, right? You can see the meta lectionis here. This one, okay, this is a Holland word, okay, and then you can also appear as just like this, okay. Both of these actually are what you call that two representations of O vowel. Okay, one is a longer O vowel, okay, one is a longer O vowel, and the other one is it's also long, but it's not as long as the meta lectionis. Okay, so now before the Nikuds were introduced, so imagine this was not there. Okay, this was not there, and this was not there, this was not there. Okay, now you only see the consonants here. So this is where we see this was introduced around the 9th to 6th century BCE, right? And these are the meta lectionis. Okay, you can also spell it this way as well. Okay, shin, mem, and resh. Okay, or shin, wav, mem, resh. Okay, so when the Masoretic scholars added in the text, sorry, the pointings, then we know this is an O vowel. Okay, if it is over here, that is a U vowel. Okay, so this actually helps us to know this is an O vowel here, and this is a E vowel, and this is a O vowel as well. Okay, so this is how we read the text here, because these are the so-called the full letter vowels which you will use later. Okay. Now the meta lectionis can be represented as, remember the arrowhead, right? It is like going up, like a rocket going up. Okay, arrowhead. Okay, so it's a long I vowel or long E vowel. Okay, so it can also the other one. Okay, like here, for example, you have the sere here. Okay, you have the sere here, and you have a yod. So you pronounce this as re. Okay, re. Okay, then you have another one. Okay, he, with a yod here. He. Okay, he, right, with a arrowhead. Okay, so that is he re. Okay, now you read it as a hire, okay, and then this one is, sorry, you read it as a rehi, okay, rehi, all right. Now wav here can also be either the o or u vowel. Behave like an o or u vowel. Okay, like I mentioned just now, if it is, if without the dot, we will not know. We can only guess it's either O or U vowel. But with the Masoretic scholars added here, then we are more definite this is an O vowel. Okay, but if let's say, for example, the Masoret put the dot here, then we know this is a U vowel. Okay, that's a shuruk. If it's a dot over here, then this is Holland wav. Okay, so that's why it is either a O or a U vowel. Okay, but it's a long O or long U vowel. So this, without the dot here, you will not be able to tell. Okay, right? So let's go on. So this one is a Holem Waf, okay, represented by the arrow here like this. Okay, this one is a Shuruk. Okay, this is represented by the U and the arrowhead here. Okay, so can you try to read this? Anyone try to read this? We have a Yod, right? Anyone? A Yod? What is this?
A vo? Is it a vo?
Yom.
No,
Yom.
Yom.
Yo-
Yom.
Yom.
Okay, this is a Yod here. Okay, this is
Yeah.
a metalectionist, like I mentioned just now, is a Holem Waf. So it's a long O, right? Long O like this, all right? And this is a mem suffix, right? Which is a final form of mem, okay? So it's like Y-O-M, okay? Y-O-M like this. Wait, like this, you see, like this, Y-O-M, okay? Sorry, this one should be, this is wrong already, sorry. This should be an arrowhead, okay? I'll correct that later, right? The other one here is Yod, okay, with the Hirik. What is this? Yod with the Hirik. Y-I, see
E.
Y-I,
E.
okay, all right, and then you have a rash, okay, which is this one, and this is actually a silent schwa, so we represent that with a little dash here, okay. Then you have dalet, okay, which is a a d, okay, d, right, and then you have this one. See, this is a shuruk, a u, okay, should be like this, okay. So it's yedu, yedu, right? Let me remove this so they can see. It's yedu, okay, yedu, right? Now, so this is what you have learned on the meta lection is. Okay, let's look
Mr.
at the,
Stephen,
yes,
can I ask just very quick question? Just
yes.
now when you show the waf with that, how do we know that it is not the waf with the O on top, and then how do we know that it is not a consonant but it's a vowel for that waf with the dot on top?
With the dot on top, okay, let's say for example here, okay, with the dot on top, okay, this is basically an O straight away. You know it's a O. You know it's an O here. So it's not the B O, okay, because originally without the Nikud, okay, this is just a waf only, okay, okay. Now there is a rule which I do not want to confuse you, okay. If the rule says that if you see the waf in the middle of a word, then you know it behaves like a vowel, okay. It behaves like a vowel. It's just like, for example, we have, let's say for example, the CVC, consonant, vowel, okay, and a consonant, right? So if it is a middle, you know it is actually a vowel. It has to be a vowel, okay. It's like a sandwich. This is the bread, okay. This is the bread, and this is a bread, and then you have a sardine in between, okay. That's a vowel in between. Okay, I don't think I want to confuse all of you here. Let's not go into this yet at this point in time. Okay, so if you see a waf with a dot on top here, right, you know it's an O vowel, which is a long O vowel. Okay, and this is what we call the meta lectionis. If you see a dot in the middle, okay, this is the one which is a U, longer U vowel like this. Okay, so I think that for the moment, this is good enough, right? We don't want to confuse it with too many things at this point in time. Okay, so now if we, let's say with the hey at the end of the word, right? And it can be either A or O, okay? So if, let's say for example, okay, you have this end of the word, you got the hey there. It can be either A, E, O, okay? So like here, you have kamats here. Okay, let me write it down here. Kamats and a hey here. Kamats hey. All right. So it's ah. Okay. Now next we have, okay, this word is ata. Okay, ata means you. Okay, ata means you. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the syllables. How syllables are formed? Syllables are formed with consonants and vowels. Okay, they form syllables. As you know, when you put the syllables together, they form words. And when you put the words together, all right, you will actually get the sentence, a full sentence. So like here in this case, the word is bara. Okay, there are consonants here. All right, these are the three consonants. Okay, and then the nikud or the vowels are here. So you have two syllables here, ba, ra. Okay, bara. Okay, so bara means he created. All right, God created. So you have ba, right, and you have ra. See, bara. Okay, so these are all the syllables. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. So if you put the vowels together, sorry, if you put the consonants and the vowels together, okay, you will get the syllable. And then you put the syllables, you get words. And then we put the words together, you are able to read the sentence in Hebrew. Okay, like here the word bara Elohim, right? Bara Elohim. You see, this is one syllable by itself, ba. Okay, and then another syllable which is ra, bara. Okay, then you have lo him. So bara Elohim, God created. Okay, God created. Okay, let's look at here. Bara Elohim. Bara Elohim. Okay, now what is a CVC? CVC is a closed syllable, right? Closed syllable is like a sardine sandwich. Okay, a sardine sandwich. You have the bread, the C here, and you got the C here. This is a bread, and in between you have the sardine. Okay, so this one you have to press it down. Okay, and then before you eat, right? Two pieces of bread and sardine in between. So this is what they call a closed syllable, and you can start eating it. All right. So the open syllable is like this, just the consonant and the vowel. Okay, consonant and the vowel. Some people like to eat bread with butter on top. Okay, they do not have another piece of bread on top, right? So this is an open syllable, like an open syllable. Just the consonant and the vowel alone is an open syllable. If it's a consonant and the vowel and consonant, then it is okay, these are all the open syllables. These are all the open syllables, all right? And then if it is a closed syllable, then it is a consonant, right? Vowel and a consonant, a CVC here. See? So you have the word bara, Elohim, Elohim. The last one here has got the CVC, closed syllable. The rest of it is an open syllable. Okay, why this is important, we will explain later because it has to do with the way how we pronounce certain words, right? Okay, let's look at the word shalom. We have shin, okay, we have lamed, okay, we have mem suffix. Now this word, this one is, as you know already, is a holam waf. Okay, remember the meta lexion is the O long O vowel, which is basically the uh, is to be transliterated or written like this with a long with an arrowhead on top. Okay, so this is the O vowel. So shalom. Okay, shalom. Okay, the transliteration is actually read from left to right. Okay, to English like this, shalom. Okay, with the arrowhead there, shalom. Okay, so everybody knows the meaning of shalom. Shalom means peace, okay, well-being, okay, and it can also mean goodbye as well. Shalom, goodbye. Okay, so now Adela, the quiz part.
Okay, fine. Before that, I think I saw Eliza's hand up in the chat. I think she wants to ask a question. Eliza? I thought I saw her hand. Anyway, okay. All right. Let's go ahead and we will, after every teaching, there has to be a quiz. Since many of y'all are teachers, you all know this, right? So we'll go ahead and we will take a quiz. So again, go ahead and mute yourselves, and those of you who want to answer, unmute and go ahead and answer, but not too many at a time. Otherwise, those who are listening will not be able to hear properly or correctly. So we'll begin with the first one. Can go ahead, can somebody go ahead and tell me what is the consonant that is used? The consonant that is used in
Kaf.
each of these, in this particular, what is it, please?
Kaf. Kaf. Kaf.
No, the consonant, the consonant. We'll come to the vowel, but which is the consonant?
Kaf.
B.
B, bet, the bet, the bet, B. Okay, so now we have the bet, the consonant bet, okay, and we have the different A-class vowels attached to it, written below it. So go ahead, somebody go ahead and unmute and tell me what are the 3 sounds that it would make. The bet with the patah, what is the sound that it would make?
Ba.
Somebody? Ba, yes, ba, okay. Bet with the kamats.
Ba.
Bet with the kamats, ba, ba. And bet with the hatef, patak hatef, or hatef patak.
Ba.
Ba, short A sound. Next, we are moving on to the E vowel. Again, the letter, the consonant bet is used with the different E class vowels. Okay, the first one, bet with the segol. Bet with the segol. How would you pronounce that?
B.
Be.
Be. Very good. Be. Be. Next one, bet with the sere. Bet with the sere.
Be.
Sere.
B.
Be. Very good. Very good. Bet with the schwa, which is vocal. Here, you think that it is vocal. How would you pronounce this? Anybody?
B.
Be. Yes, very good. Be. Very good. Be. Okay. Otherwise, you will know when it is going to be vocal, when it is going to be silent a little later. Okay. Next one. The I class vowel. The I class vowel. Again, the bet consonant is used. Bet with the hirik. What is the sound? Bet with the hirik. What is the sound, please?
B.
B.
B. B. Excellent. Next, bet with the hirik yod. Remember what More just said. Hirik yod. Yod here is acting
B.
as a vowel. It is not a vowel, but is acting as a vowel. What is it?
B.
Go ahead.
B.
B. B. Hirik yod. Yes, very good. B. Very good. Moving on to the O class vowel. Again, bet, the letter bet is used. The first one with the holum, with the holum. How would you pronounce that? Bet with the holum.
Bo. Bo.
Bo. Bo. Bo. Excellent. Excellent. Next, bet with the holum vav. Bet with the holum vav. Bo. Bo. It's the long O class verb. Very good. Bo. Very good. Now we will move on to the U class vowel. Okay, so the first one under the U class vowel is bet with the 3 dots diagonally, the kibbutz vowel. What is it?
Boo.
Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Boo.
Okay, as we is scaring somebody. Boo. Okay, next one. The with the shuruk. Bet with the shuruk.
Boo.
Boo. Boo. Boo. Boo. Boo. Boo. Boo. One, the shorter one is boo. The other one is boo with the shuruk. That's with the, how would you write the shuruk? With the vav and the dot in the middle. All right, very good. You all are doing very well. Huh? You all are doing very, very well. And please pay attention to the, More, you just want to go, to the transliterations now, because as we're going to start writing the verses, the transliterations will become important now. Slowly, slowly, we will wean off the transliteration, and we will learn just to look at the letters, look at the words and pronounce it. But for now, we will look at the transliteration. So just take a look at the different transliterations. Ba with the patah, ba with the kamats, ba with the Hatif Patak. How is it transliterated in English? Next, you have ba with the segol. Then you have ba with the sere. And then if the ba with the schwa is vocal, that's how you would pronounce it. You would write it B with the inverted or upside down E. Or if it is vocal, sorry, if it is silent, you just put a dash there, as you see. If it is silent, that's how you would represent schwa. Next, hirik, B with an I. Okay, B because we are using the letter bet. Then if you have the hirik yod, you have the I with the cap on top or the circumflex on top. I with a cap on top. So when you look at the transliteration, you should know that there is a hirik with the yod attached to it. Next, we have, yeah, hirik with the yod. Next, we have the holamba. Okay, so B with the O. Next, we have the just the holamba. I'm sorry. I just want to say that again. First, we had the holam, just the holam. Now we have the holambav. Now we have the holambav. And how do you transliterate that in English? You write O with the cap on top or the circumflex on top. That's how you know that it is a holambav. Holambav. And then finally, the U class vowel. If it's a short U, it's just the you would write it with U. And if it is shuruk, that is the long U class vowel, you'll put U with the cap or the circumflex on top. Remember, I just want to, I don't know if I said this, we said this earlier, but if it is the reduced vowel, it is with the cap upside down. You know, it's not, it's pointed down. You know, like how More said, you're carrying a pot of water and it shakes and then most of the water goes and the water is reduced. So it's an upside down, like a U. Okay, so remember that. Okay, once again, let's quiz. Now we have the letter Gimel. We have the letter Gimel. Can somebody go ahead? Somebody who has not answered, go ahead, unmute, and can tell me all the three sounds with the patah, with the kamats, and the hatif patah.
Ga.
It's the A class.
Ga.
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 Okay. Ga.
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 Yes. Ga. 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 Okay. Next, the E class vowel, all three. All three, please. With the segol, sere, and imagine this is a vocal schwa. Go ahead.
Ge.
All three, please.
Ge. Ge.
Ge. Ge.
Ge.
Uh,
Ge.
ge. Ge. Ge. It's a short. Ge.
Ge.
Ge. Okay. Next one.
Ge.
Next one. Next one. Somebody, go ahead.
Gi.
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 Ge.
Gi. Yes. Next one, please. Hold sorry, the O class vowel.
Go.
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 Go. Very good. And finally, the U class vowel.
Gu.
Gu.
Gu. Gu.
Gu. Gu. Gu. Gu. Gu. Okay. And then again, take a look at the transliterations. And then we will move on because this is important now because for the homework assignments, this is important, how you would transliterate it. It is important. So just take a look at it, please. We'll give you a few seconds to look at it and then we'll move on to the next slide. And then More is writing it out for you. And remember, if it is a vocal schwa, it is an inverted or an upside down E.
Can't hear you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother. Thank you. Okay. The next one. Now we have right on top, the row on top, we have the letter Hey. Go ahead. All three, one after the other, one person, please.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. So you have the longest
Ha.
first. Ha, 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 and ha, 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 ha. Okay, it's a short reduced vowel. Okay. Now let's move on to the E class vowel. You have the sere, segol, and the vocal schwa. We are imagining that this is a vocal schwa. Okay, go ahead.
He. Hey.
Hey. Next one.
Hey.
He.
And the last one.
Hey. He.
Very good. Next one. I class vowel.
Hi.
He.
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 He. And then
E.
He.
okay. Now O class vowel
O.
with the with the
O.
holum,
O.
just with the holum.
Ho.
Ho.
And then
And then
ho.
and then with the
Ho.
holum bar.
Ho.
Ho. Very good. And the last one with the kibbutz, the short U vowel.
Who.
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 And then with the shuruk.
Who.
Who.
Who. Excellent. Who. Very good. Now this letter with the dot, the dagesh
Hey.
lene in it. What is that letter?
Hey.
Hey.
Pay.
Pay.
Okay. So now, very good. Pay. Very good. Now with the A class vowel, all three sounds, please. All three sounds. A class vowel. One person, please.
Pay. Pay. Pay.
Louder and clear.
Pa.
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 Pa. Pa.
Pa.
Pa.
And pa.
Pa.
Very good. Pa. Pa. And pa. 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 And pa. Pa. Okay. Okay. Moving on to the E class vowel. Sere, segol, and assuming this is the vocal schwa. Go ahead.
Pa.
Pe.
Pe. Pe.
Pa.
Pe. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Moving on. Hirik with the hirik.
P.
P. Excellent.
P.
Hirik
P.
yod with the hirik yod.
P.
P.
P. Excellent. With the holum.
O.
O.
O. And now with the holum verb. With the holum verb.
O.
Po. Yes. Po. Okay. Now
Who.
the last one. U class vowel with the kibbutz.
Who.
Who. And then
Who.
with the shuruk.
Who.
Who. Okay. All right.
Okay, now we will learn something new, right? Just be prepared. This is what we call the dagesh. Okay, we have already learned there are two types of dagesh, right? There are also two types of shua as well. Okay, let's look at the dagesh, right? The dagesh is the little dot that you see here, right? The little dot here that you see here. Okay. The word dagesh means piercing like the piercing of the ear. You know, we put the earring there. Okay, that's the meaning of dagesh. So the letter is actually pierced with a little dot here. Okay, so there are two types of dagesh here. One is a weak dagesh, and one the weak dagesh is known as a dagesh lene, right? The other one is and this is found in the baguette kafet letters: bef, gimel, dalet, ke, kaf, pe, and pa. Okay, so these are the baguette kafet letters. When you have a dot here, you know it is dagesh lene, right? Or the weak dagesh. The other one is a strong dagesh. So any other letters apart from all these baguette kafet letters, it can be either it can be a strong dagesh. Okay, it can be a strong dagesh. Okay, or you call it dagesh forte. Now, if let's say for example you see the baguette kafet letter here, it is a weak Dagesh. It can also be a strong Dagesh as well. So you will have to guess, and we will tell you how to guess when is it a weak Dagesh and when is a strong Dagesh. Why it is important to know the difference between a weak Dagesh and a strong Dagesh? Because the strong Dagesh or the Dagesh forte means the doubling Dagesh. Okay, doubling Dagesh means the letter itself, like for example, the Dalet here, instead of just a D, is actually a D, a double D. Okay, a double D. All right, we'll look at it later. Okay, we'll look at it later. But don't worry about all this for now. Just know that there are two Dagesh. One is a weak Dagesh and a strong Dagesh. Okay, the strong Dagesh, okay, exists in the letter. Okay, apart from the above examples. For example, you have the what do you call that? Okay, you have calf. Okay, calf is also weak Dagesh. Sorry, you have, let's say, uh, okay, so mem. Okay, let's say for example you have the mem. Okay, I say now I write the mem here. Okay, and I put a little dot here, okay, a dagesh here, right? Because it doesn't belong to the bracket kefet letters, I know this is a strong dagesh straight away, okay? Or a yod, a yod here, and I put a dot here, okay? This is also a strong dagesh. So what the strong dagesh does is you have, let's say, for example, the yod here, right? A yod with a dagesh forte or strong dagesh, it means there are two yods. Okay, there are two yods. So when you transliterate it, okay, you put the two y as well. Okay, so that is how strong Dagesh works. A strong Dagesh will give you two of the same letter itself. So like I said just now, a mem, okay, with the Dagesh forte here, it means it's a two mem here, like that one, and then the other one is like that. Okay, so there are two mems here. This is what the strong Dagesh is all about. Okay, now let's look at the example here. You look at the Gmail here, right? A Gmail, it can be either a weak Dagesh or it can be a strong Dagesh, right? So how do you tell whether this is a strong Dagesh or weak Dagesh? If it's a strong Dagesh, right, that means it has got the double Gmail, double G, right? Now look at this definition here. The Dagesh in the bracket capital letters is forte if it's preceded by a vowel. Now, what is the vowel before this email here? The vowel before this email here is a patah. Okay, a patah is a short vowel A, right? A short vowel A, right? You remember the C, V, C, right? When the vowel is short, you need something to close it, another consonant to close it. So in this case here, this is short. So I need to get one G from here, borrow one G from here, right, to close it. Right? The second G the second G will take over this kamats here. So it is hak, okay, one syllable, hak, ga, dol. Okay, there are three syllables here. So I know this is a strong Dagesh because of the short vowel patah here, short vowel A here. Okay, this is basically how you tell whether it is a, a strong Dagesh or a weak Dagesh. Okay, so now another example is this Malketo, okay, which means his work, right? So you have Melakato, okay, you have the what do you call that vowel that is before it, okay, which is vocal schwa here, right? It's a what do you call that short e vowel, okay, reduced. Sorry, it's a vocal schwa. It's actually a very short e vowel, right? So therefore, this one is cannot really what do you call that be Dagesh forte. Okay, it is a Dagesh lene, right? So that is where you just read it as a TO only. Okay, there's no TTO. Okay, no, it's not TTO, right? So schwa is not considered as a vowel. Like I mentioned just now, it is very, very short, just like the word brief. Okay, maybe I'm not sure whether my slides here has got the word, the explanation given here. But if you look at the word brief, right, the last E vowel, E here, is actually not read. You don't actually pronounce it as bride, right? The E here is a very, very faint E, right? It's a very faint E. So it's the same thing as well here. Okay, it's a vocal schwa, it's a very faint E, very faint E, all right? And meaning that you pronounce it, but very, very fast. K, 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 Malaketo, Malaketo, all right? Very fast, all right? So it's just like here, briefed, briefed, right? You don't say rede, all right? You say brief, brief. Okay, so this one is basically it's not really considered as a vowel. Okay, if you want to consider as a vowel, you can, but it's a very faint E vowel. All right. So this is what basically how you determine whether it is a Dagesh Lene, right? In this case here, Dagesh Lene, or it is a Dagesh Forte, right? Dagesh Forte, or a Dagesh Lene here, right? So, okay, let's go on. That's a strong Dagesh. Now, Shua, okay, as you know, there are actually two Shuas. One is the, okay, two types of schwa. Let me put it this way: two types of schwa. One is a simple schwa, right? And the other simple schwa is what you see here in the box here. Okay, a simple schwa, right? And the other one is a composite schwa or compounded schwa. Compounded schwa is something like this: a schwa, okay, with a kamats or a patah, right? So this is a composite schwa. These are the two types of schwa. Okay, so like for example, Elohim. Okay, you can see this is a Hataf Segol. Okay, Elohim. Okay, is also a composite schwa as well. You can see this word Haron. Okay, this is also a composite schwa as well. Okay, and then you have Okel. Okay, Okel. Okay, which is basically tent, right? Okay, so these are all composite schwas at the bottom here. All these are composite schwa. You look at here, composite schwa, composite schwa. Okay, right. So these are the two types of schwa. Okay, now two kinds or two simple schwa. One is a vocal and the other one is a silent schwa. Okay, now vocal schwa, some books will say, oh, it's called moving schwa. Why moving schwa? It has a very quick vowel-like sound. Okay, it is basically represented by the upside down E, like this, upside down E. Okay, so this is the vocal schwa. Right, for now you just remember vocal schwa. Don't worry about moving schwa, but just letting you know that some textbook will say moving schwa, so don't be worried. Okay, it means vocal schwa. Right, now this is how it's represented, upside down E. Okay, the other one is a silent schwa. It's like the English schwa as well. Okay, and this is usually represented by just a dash here. Like, okay, the word routine. You don't actually say routine, all right? You say routine, okay, because it is a silent schwa. Okay, like brief, okay, brief, all right? So it's represented by just a dash. Okay, so there are two schwas. One is the vocal schwa, like this. The other one is a silent schwa. Okay, silent schwa. How do we know whether it's a vocal or a silent schwa? We will look at it later. Okay. Now, so here you can see an example, okay, of a vocal schwa, and then there's another one which is the silent schwa. Okay, like you have a beth and the vocal schwa, it's be, okay, and then you have silent. Sorry, you have shin, okay, with the with the silent schwa, then you transliterate it as sh with a line here, okay, with a dash here. Okay, so that is like that. Okay. Okay. So vocal schwa. Okay. How do you know it is a vocal schwa? Now, just remember a few rules only. Very very simple rules. Okay. Basically, the rules are just there to help you to remember how to recognize whether whether it is a vocal or it's a silent schwa. Okay. Now, when a schwa occurs in the middle of a word, okay, okay, you have to remember. Wait, just give me 1 minute. Huh? I think if you look at here, the example that I've given here, if it's a beginning of a word, all right, a beginning of a word, right, like this, okay, this is automatically vocal schwa. Okay, so when it opens a syllable at the beginning or middle of a word, that is a vocal schwa. You can see this is the beginning of a word or beginning of a syllable in the middle of the word. Okay, middle of the word, right? So in this case here, you can say this is one syllable by itself, yish, right? So when you have yish, then you have a beginning of a new syllable here, me. You see me, right? That's what you call the vocal schwa with the upside down e here, right? Yish meru, okay, yish meru, right? So it will take a bit of time for you to understand this, but we will explain to you again, right? If you have any questions, you can always ask during either WhatsApp. We will explain again. But let's, for now, just listen here. Vocal or silent schwa. If the preceding vowel is a long vowel, okay, a long vowel, like for example, a sere or kamats, okay, these are long vowels. Then the next syllable, okay, where the schwa is, right, it is called a vocal schwa, a vocal schwa. So if you think in terms of, let's say for example, you got a ha here. Okay, I'm just creating a word, huh? Okay, and then you have a schwa here. Okay, so you see this is a ha, it's a long vowel. Okay, you can split here. This is one syllable by itself. Ha. Okay, in other words, it can stand alone. A hey with a kamat, it can stand alone. It can be a syllable by itself already. Ha. Okay, then the other one is Bev with a schwa. We know this is a vocal schwa, okay, because it is after, see, after a long A vowel. Okay, this becomes automatically a beginning of a new syllable. So the beginning of the new syllable here, it is a vocal schwa. Okay, so it's harbor. Okay, harbor. We're gonna instead of hub. Okay. Okay, let's look at some examples here. Okay, you have the word somarim, right? Somarim. Let's split it out. Okay, you have a long O vowel. Remember, the preceding vowel is a long O vowel. Therefore, the schwa here is beginning of a new syllable. So it's a vocal schwa. Okay, vocal schwa. But if it's a short vowel, right? After a short vowel, okay, then it becomes a silent schwa. Okay, like for example, you can see here, yod with the hirik. Hirik is a short vowel. Okay, a short vowel, right? When it's a short vowel, then the schwa after it becomes a silent schwa. Okay, how do you remember this? How do you remember this? Okay, first you must understand when you want to pronounce a word, okay, you have a consonant and you have a vowel-like thing, okay? And if this vowel-like thing is long enough for you to read this as a syllable by itself, so you say som, so, okay? Then you have the beginning of a new syllable. So, me, okay, me, rim, okay? So, me, rim, okay? Now, if the vowel is so short, okay, you need to borrow from here. You borrow the next consonant in order for you to pronounce the word, the syllable, okay, properly. Okay, yish, yish. Okay, yish, more, yish, more, yish, more. Okay. If you look at here again, right? This is already a long vowel. Okay, already a long vowel. So it becomes, if you attach this mem here together with the with this one, becomes som. It's a very long, very cumbersome for you to pronounce. Okay, very cumbersome for you to pronounce. Shin, polem wa, and mem with the what do you call that, with a schwa here, becomes som. You know, but if you have a short vowel here, then it's easier for you to close this syllable with the schwa here. That becomes a simple schwa. Sorry, a silent schwa. So it is yish, yish, yish. Okay. Do you have any questions up to this stage? Because this is a little bit tricky. Any questions? So far, is it clear? Because we find that a lot of people having difficulties with this.
Very clear. You explained very well. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask to see whether you all understand? Huh? Okay. The first line. After a long vowel, it is a vocal schwa. Okay. Can you explain why it is a vocal schwa? Can we get George? You were laughing just now. So.
Yeah, because I really understood nothing.
Okay. Look at this. That's a whole idea. That's the whole idea.
Tina.
Because if you don't understand,
Make it your own, Tina.
Huh? Sorry?
It may not go out.
No, you look at this one here. You look at here. This is a long O vowel. Okay, long O vowel. Right? Right. So you actually can stand alone already. This syllable can stand alone already. A shin with a long O vowel, it is able to stand on its own. Okay, it becomes a syllable by itself. Okay,
Yeah, I got it now.
you got it, huh? So
Yep.
this is a syllable by itself. And then therefore, the next one, it will become another syllable by itself. Okay, and this is where the vocal schwa comes in, right? Right, long vowel, you get a vocal schwa. The next schwa is the following schwa is a vocal schwa. Okay, if it's a short O vowel, this is too short already, right? You need to borrow from the next what do you call that? The next consonant to make a vowel. Okay, therefore this becomes silent. Okay, so this is yish, this is so mer, right? This is yish, right? Both of them are schwa. One is a vocal, sorry, this is a vocal schwa and this is a silent schwa. This is a silent schwa because it is connected with the short I vowel. This is a vocal schwa because it can stand alone by itself, because the first syllable is already so. Okay, because it is a long vowel, it's able to stand alone by itself as a vowel, sorry, as a syllable. So, rim. So, rim. Okay. I hope this is clear.
Sorry,
Okay.
can I ask something?
Yes, sure.
For the short vowel, back to the screen.
Okay.
For the short vowel itself, the yish there.
Yes.
So meaning it doesn't have the vowel after the yish. Does it mean that way?
Okay. You see here, you can see one syllable by itself already. Yish, right? Yish. Okay. So this one is already considered as a silent schwa. That's why you get
Schwa,
yish,
huh?
yish, right? So now this one, second
Yeah.
one, okay, is already another syllable. So more, yish more, yish more.
It unmute.
Yeah. So does that answer your question?
What I mean is the yish itself. I understand what you're trying to explain,
Okay.
but the yish itself, that means the silent schwa itself after the yish sound. That means it doesn't. Can I just treat it? It doesn't have a vowel at all after the yish, before the mo.
Okay. This schwa is basically not really it's not really a vowel. Okay, it's not really a vowel. Remember just now I mentioned it's not really a vowel. Okay, but because it is either a vocal schwa or is a silent schwa. Okay, in this case here, it is still there. It is still there, right? You can't deny it's still there. Okay, but because it is a silent schwa, okay, it's just like the word brief. Okay, the last e at the end of the word brief. Okay, you don't actually pronounce it anymore. You don't
Oh,
say every day. You say brief. It's just like this also. So because this is like a silent e.
understood. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, good. Very good. Okay, so now let's go on. Okay, when the rule number 2, all right, when they follow beta lectionis or the full letter vowels, like I mentioned just now, okay, somarim. Okay, when you follow here, this is a vocal. Sorry, when the letter has a strong dagesh. Follow beta lectionis. Wait, let me see. Okay, I think there's a slight mistake here. Okay, okay, when it follows a beta lectionis, right, this becomes a vocal schwa. Okay, this becomes a vocal schwa, right? This becomes a vocal schwa. Now, this one I think we should just cross it out because I think when I prepared the PowerPoint, I forgot to remove this. Okay, okay. So now let's look at the next slide. Sorry, wait, I pressed something wrongly just now. Oops.
Stephen, Moray
Yes.
Stephen.
Yes.
Grace would like to ask a question, but her
Okay.
mic is not working, so she'll use mine. Come and ask here.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
Sorry, Stephen.
Yes.
Can you go back to the previous screen?
Previous screen, huh? Okay. I'm having a bit of problem here because I just click on something that now my computer is a bit
It's okay
laggy.
then. I ask later.
No, you can ask now. Okay, you can ask now. Just that I'm just letting you know I'm having a bit of problem with my computer here. You're clicking on the wrong thing. And now I can hear you. I can hear you. Just give me 1 minute. Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah, okay, can you hear me now? Okay, gosh. Let me click on. Okay, now you will see you will see from here as well that it's a lot clearer. Okay, when you look at rule number 3, right? When the first first schwa here, let's say there are 2 schwas here. Okay, the first schwa and the second schwa. Okay, when the first schwa, okay, is actually at the end of the syllable. Okay, it helps to close the syllable here. This is a silent schwa. At the beginning of the next syllable, okay, the next syllable, okay, at the beginning of the syllable or the beginning of a word, it is a vocal schwa. Okay, a vocal schwa. Like for example, here the word yishmeru here, right? Yishmeru. So the first one, okay, the first one is a silent schwa, and the second one is a vocal schwa. Okay, this is a vocal schwa. Okay, so the first one, silent schwa, because it closes the syllable, therefore it is silent. The second one, it opens a new syllable, therefore it becomes a vocal schwa. Okay, a vocal schwa. So this is a lot clearer. Silent rule number 3. Okay, how you tell whether it's a vocal or a silent schwa. Okay, next slide. Okay, rule number 4 is when there are 2 schwa next to each other. The first one is silent, the second is vocal, like I mentioned just now as well. You look at this word, for example, kitlu. Okay, all right. You look at here carefully. Okay, this is a strong dagesha. Okay, a strong dagesha, right? A strong dagesh means it doubles, right? It doubles like this. 1 and then 2 here. right? So the first one is silent because it will go into first syllable. Okay, it goes into the first syllable, which is this one here. Okay, kid, right? Kid, right? And then the second schwa is vocal, right? So it's kitelu, 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 okay? Kitelu, all right? So this is how you pronounce the word kitelu, right? Okay, not sure whether you what do you call that you understand this part, but always remember if it's a strong digash here, then you have two tet. Okay, the first tet that will have this schwa here, and the second tet will also have a schwa. Okay, the second tet is the one that takes away the schwa here. Okay, the first one will automatically inherit a schwa. Okay, maybe if I give you another example, then you can see better. Okay, like here, for example, the first tet, okay, first tet will have the first tet will have automatically a schwa here, right? The second one will carry the
Atta.
that you see here. Okay, so this one is kitao, kutao, kutao. This is kutao. Okay, because the first schwa is silent. Okay, and it is actually part of it is actually part of the first syllable here. The first syllable here, this one here. Okay, part of this syllable. All right, the second one is a second syllable here. Okay, so it's kutao, kutao. Okay. Rule number 5 is under the first two identical consonants. Like for example, you have the word hale, halu, halelu, halelu. Okay, you have the two identical consonants here, lamet, lamet here. Okay, the first one under the first of the two identical schwa here. Okay, it becomes a vocal schwa. Hallelu, hallelu. Okay, so that's where the word hallelujah comes from. Hallelujah. Okay, the silent schwa is when there is a closing of a syllable. Okay, when the preceding vowel is short. Okay, like here. Okay, let me. Okay, you say the word waishla. Okay, waishla. The here, this one here, okay, it is part of the syllable here. Yish, wayish, wayishla. Okay, wayishla. Okay, then if you look at the, okay, sorry, I get a bit disoriented. Okay, this one is a short vowel, right? See, this is a short vowel here. Okay, so this becomes automatically become a silent schwa, so that you can actually form a syllable together with the yod and the hirik here. Okay, right? So wayish. Okay, then you have la. Okay, wayish la. Okay, then this one is also also a short vowel as well. That's why you get the silent schwa together with it, so they can form a syllable. Tik wa, tik wa. Okay, so now let's look at another example. Sorry, look at the summary now. Okay, look at summary. If it is under a syllable beginning, sorry, under a letter beginning a syllable, like for example, this one, it is a vocal schwa. Okay, and if it's following a meter lectionis or full letter vowels, okay, then it is also a vocal schwa. Okay, it is if it's back to back in the middle of the word or the second schwa is usually a vocal schwa, right? Like for example, the yish meru. Okay, and if it's a doubling of the dagesh, okay, like the doubling dagesh is the dagesh forte, like in this case here, right? It becomes a vocal schwa, okay, at the second tet, okay, a vocal schwa at the second tet. So it's kitelu, okay, and if it's under the first of the two identical consonants like hallelu, okay, that is also a vocal schwa as well. okay, vocal schwa as well. Okay, the silent schwa here under a letter closing a syllable, okay, is like, for example, yish, more. Okay, this is a letter under the closing of a syllable, the first syllable, yish, right? Because the yod and the hirik is a short I vowel. Okay, so the schwa that follows after it is automatically a silent schwa. Okay, yish, more. Okay, and then you have the, okay, don't worry about this one here, but just to let you know that following an accented syllable, it is also a silent schwa as well. Okay, and then vowelless final calf. Okay, like this, in this case here is a vowelless final calf, is also a silent schwa. Okay, silent schwa. And back to back at the end, okay, then you have also a silent schwa as well. You can see the silent schwa at the below of the taf here, below of the taf here, see, below of the taf here. And back to the end, back in the middle of the word, okay, the first schwa is always the silent schwa. Okay, silent schwa. The second one is vocal. Okay, so you can also put it this way as well. Okay, I think we will provide you this slide later, right, to give you an idea how to differentiate between a vocal and a silent schwa. Okay, so you can actually learn to read later. Okay, but I think time is also running out. Okay, but if you look at the word here, right, this is bear, rare, shit. Okay, parachute. Okay, parachute means beginning. Okay, and this is ba. Okay, ba. This is ra. Ba ra. Okay, right. Remember the aleph is actually represented by this comma here, this apostrophe here. Okay, ba ra. Okay, and then you have lo him. Bara Elohim. All right. And then you have this aleph with a sere, okay, with a taf here is at, okay, at. Then you have Hashamayim, okay, Hashamayim means the heavens, and then you have a at, okay, okay, Hashamayim actually has got the dagesh, strong dagesh there, right? So strong dagesh shows that there are two shin here, okay, two shin here. The first shin will inherit a silent schwa, and then the second shin will actually take on the vowel that you see at the bottom of the word Hashamayim. Okay, so this is where you can see that it actually splits up into two. Okay, the first one receives this one, the second one receives the kamats. Okay, Hashamayim. Okay, this is how you pronounce the word Hashamayim, which means the heavens. Ve'at means, okay, it's not translated. Okay, it's usually not translated. Is what they call the direct object marker. Okay, that means it's actually pointing to the word the heavens, and then this one is Ve'at. It points to the haaret, which is the earth. Okay, right. This is the earth here. Ha. Okay, are reds. So you need to do this as for your homework, right? Because we want you to recognize this is a hey, and then this is a kamat. So therefore, you transliterate it as ha, and then you have aleph with a kamat. That this is how you pronounce, how you transliterate it. Aleph is this apostrophe, and then kamat is a with a line here, and then resh with a segol. Okay, is re. And then you have final sade is a tz. So the whole word actually is haaret. Okay, this is how you need to do your homework. Okay, now I think Anela will explain the homework side. Anela, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Fine. The homework, since we have finished with going through the Nikud and the Dagesh Lene, Dagesh Forte, and the silent and vocal schwa. Now what we will do is for the next weeks, okay, what we will do is we will take the verses from Genesis chapter 1. Okay, so Maury, can you just, okay, you want to use this as a, okay, we'll use this as an example or a model for you to follow through. Okay, so we will take, say you take Genesis 1:1. The first word in Genesis 1:1 is Berashit. Okay, so if you look at the word Berashit, you take the first letter. What you're going to do is you're going to take the letter Berashit and you're going to break it up into syllables. So how are we going to do that? So the first one, you have the letter Bet. So you're going to write Bet. And what is the whatever that is attached to it, here you will see that it is schwa, because it is written right word or at the beginning of a syllable, then it is vocal. So what you will write is you will take the letter Bet plus vocal schwa. And how will you transliterate it? As B, that is B with an upside down E. So if you take a look at the way it is written here, that's how you're going to write the homework. Then you take the next syllable, and the next syllable is the consonant resh with the long E vowel sere. So what are you going to write? You write that down, resh with the, write it down in Hebrew. Then you're going to transliterate it. How? Resh plus sere. And how would you write that? How would you transliterate that? R-E with a dash on top of E. The dash on top of E just indicates that it is a long E vowel. Next, you have Aleph, which is silent. So you will write it as silent. Then you have Sheen with the Hirik Yod. Hirik Yod. So it is the long I vowel. So you'll write Shin plus Hirik Yod, which gives us she. And remember, Hirik Yod is I with the circumflex, with the cap on top. That's how you will write it. Then the last letter is Tab, and you will just write it as T. Next, what you will do, now what you have done is you have broken up the syllables. Now you're going to join the syllables back together, and you will have Berashit written out. And I would just advise, and that would be the best way to do, is write the Hebrew word Berashit, write its transliteration, and also write its meaning. He created. That's how you're going to go about it. Okay, so every single word from Genesis 1:1, you will break it up into syllables. You will write the consonant that is attached with that particular vowel. You will spell it out or you will transliterate it. Then you will join up all the syllables and you will write it. You'll write the transliteration. You'll write the Hebrew word, and then you will give the meaning also. This is only to help us learn the meanings along with the Hebrew. Okay, and so now this is what we're going to do. You will start with Genesis 1:1, and then you will move on to Genesis 1:2, and then Genesis 1:3, and you will submit it on the chat, okay, in the WhatsApp group. Then what we will do is, because both Angie and Maurice Stephen have worked very hard with this particular PowerPoint presentation. We will, those who have worked out or those who have written out the homework, we will personally send the form, you know, if there is any correction, how it is written, we will send that power slide to y'all. So y'all can check and see, have I written it correctly? You can pat your backs. If you have not written it correctly, it's still okay. You will just make the corrections. And I just want to make one thing clear. It does not matter if, you know, if you are on the first verse and somebody else has gone to the third or fourth verse. Here, we are not looking at speed. We're looking at how thorough you have understood, and all of us learn at different speeds. So please don't be dejected. One person has submitted 3-4 verses. I'm only in the first verse. It doesn't matter. You go ahead and submit the homework, and that's how we will learn. So I hope, and what we will do is, like, you know, say maybe Monday or Tuesday, whoever has submitted the homework, say Genesis 1:1, Genesis 1:2, or maybe even Genesis 1:3, we will send the PowerPoint slides of those 3 verses to that particular person, so that person can check for himself what they have written, check and see. Have they written it all right, or if there is any kind of correction that needs to be made? I hope this is clear. Is there anything else I need to add?
Let me add on a later. Okay.
Yes.
There is a format A and format B. You can see that format B is simpler. That means all the A, you didn't use the, didn't note that whether the AEIOU, whether it's long vowel or short vowel. Here is read Bereshit with the long vowel and short vowel signs, whereas the format B don't have. It can be done, but we do not recommend. We will recommend you to use format A for further study, and it's much better. Okay, so I think it would be good that you use format A. Thank you.
How to ask?
Over to you, Stephen.
Yeah, I think there's a question by George.
Yeah. Are we supposed to submit the work on the common chat group or
Yes.
directly?
Yes. You submit in the common chat group. We will send to you the answer sheet. If we will not post the answer sheet in the chat group because we want to encourage people to try on their own first.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You got a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more moment, please.
Okay.
One moment.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
Stephen.
sure. Yes.
I see from the sample that the first word is Bereshit. So are we supposed to decide Genesis 1, 2 is another word? How am I to know? What word is it?
You mean the meaning of the word?
No, like Genesis, I'm looking at the sample. Genesis 1:1 is the word is Bereshit.
Okay.
Okay. But what about Genesis 1:2? What word is it?
Okay.
No, this is Genesis 1:1. This is the first word of Genesis 1:1, Bereshit. The second word of Genesis 1:1 is bara. The third word of Genesis 1:1 is Elohim, and so on and so forth. This entire thing is Genesis 1:1. And I think you will have to download the Hebrew Bible, right, Maureen?
No. Okay, don't worry. We will have the assignment posted on the chat group, the verses Genesis 1:1. Then you will do the translation. Then we will post the translation on Genesis 1:2. Then you will do the assignment. Okay? You will go step by step. Don't worry.
Okay.
Because I don't have Hebrew Bible.
We will give you the Hebrew words, the Genesis 1:1 Hebrew words in the chat group.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like this, we will give it something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, something like this. Then you need to figure out how to, like this, Bereshit, bara Elohim et Hashamaim ve et haaretz. So you will need to transliterate it.
It really looks like Greek to me.
There is Hebrew.
Okay.
Don't worry, we will guide you one by one step by one step.
Thanks so much.
They are all here already. Genesis 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. Okay. So once you translate,
one time, right, will be easier. Yeah.
Once you know how to transliterate it, you will be able to read it. In fact, Anela and Angie just joined, recently. I think last 2 months, 3 months ago, and now they are progressing so fast. It took me 4 months to figure out. It took them about 2 weeks to 3 weeks just to figure out how to read Hebrew.
Just
So
to
it's
share
not
with
impossible.
you,
Yeah.
I'm the group. You are group 9. I'm group 6 only. In group 6, I learned for 2 weeks. I'm able to read in Hebrew. The group 7, I was requested to be a mini coach to friends who are Chinese speaking. And group 8, I'm invited by Stephen to be an assistant teacher. I was, it's really
no, because
amazing.
you're a former principal, so it's good, you know. Yeah.
I think it's
Time-
really calling.
How much
I don't
time
like
did
the
you
word.
put in?
Yeah.
It's just that you just follow the steps. I know that today is quite a lot for you to digest. No worry. You just go through the recorded sessions that we are going to give you soon, and also the slides. Then for me is that I print it out. Then I will go through it again, and then from there, you just use the Hebrew text that we give you. Go each consonant, see the consonant, see the Nikuds, then you just translate one syllables. After that, you becomes a words. Example, BA, one is Beth, one is A, BA ba. Rash, Kamas, RA ra. So you got the word bara. That's that simple. It's just bahasa Melayu, very simple. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm Samuel speaking.
Hi.
Samuel here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, welcome.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. So the transliteration one we have to write, right? Transliteration value of the vowels. So how can will you help me as to get maybe something where I can refer and know, maybe for Segol. Segol means this should be the transliteration. You know, is there anything like that?
Yes.
A short thing?
Now we have the when I talk about there is a summary of the Nikuds, A-E-I-O-U. You use that one for the Nikuds. Consonant,
Yeah,
we have
yes, okay. I joined later and I could not attend early. I came late, so if you can help with me.
No, this,
you
yeah,
message,
Samuel, this session will be posted. This
Okay.
So you can just go through every vowel, the transliteration is given. The Segol represented. Who is the Ser represented? Everything is in the session. So if you go through the session again, you will come to know.
Okay, okay. So
Go ahead and ask questions. You can put questions on the chat group. Don't hesitate. Keep asking.
so I could not hear you, sister, and the voice was breaking. Would you
Okay,
please go?
now can you hear me? Now can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yes. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So now this particular session is already recorded and it will be posted on the WhatsApp
group.
Okay,
What
so
group?
you can go ahead
Okay.
on the WhatsApp group. You can go ahead and rewatch the whole thing. Here
Okay,
in this session, everything is mentioned, you know, how is our Segol transliterated? How is a Seres transliterated? How is a Pata? All of it is given. You look at it and you can go ahead and do the homework. Now, if you have any question, you can post it on the WhatsApp group and we will try and answer it.
Thank you so
Is
much.
that okay, sir?
Yeah, that's okay. That's
I think shall we go ahead because time is catching up, Samuel?
It's okay. Thank you.
Sorry, Stephen. So I will attend to you personally, Samuel. Thank you very much for asking. Stephen, please go ahead. Time is
Okay, I think basically that's about it. You will be getting all this posts in the chat group. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 2, and then 3 to 4, and then 5, and maybe 6 as well. So what you just need to do is like what Anila has mentioned. Just look at all the consonants and then with the vowels, just transliterate it one by one, and based on the syllables, then you form your word transliteration of the word itself. Like like we mentioned just now, like here the haaretz, you just have to break it up into syllables and send it in the chat group. Okay, we will send you the answers. Then you compare your answers with the model answers. Okay, we find this will be more effective because in the past we have done all the corrections on WhatsApp, so it becomes very messy after some time. Okay, so we will post you the answers. You do the comparison yourself because whatever you see on your paper and what you receive from us, okay, we can print it out. It's a lot easier for you to see than for us to look at the handphone you know, and looking at all the small little Nikud there, especially when I need to do my cataract operation next Friday, it's going to be very difficult. So that will be a better way. We send you the answer, the model answers. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, may I ask a question?
Yes.
For the Hebrew for first timer like us,
Okay.
how do we establish the word? Which one is for one word? Which one is for one word?
Okay, if you look at here, right, you get, okay, let's say for example here, you can see a space in between, right? You can see a space in between here.
Oh, okay.
So basically it's like that. It's just like English or Bahasa also the same, right? So this is
Oh.
one word by itself, and then this is one word by itself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
And then remember, for Hebrew is that you read from right to left, not left to right, right to left. Stephen, please show them the end of the verse.
Sorry.
And the
also
end
one
of the
of
verse,
like a
the two
hyphen.
diamond.
Okay, here, over here. This is like a full stop. Okay, it's called so pasu. It's a full, like a full stop here. See another one here. It's like a full stop.
Sorry, excuse me.
Sorry.
So,
Yes.
so that means our homework we have to write the two diamond as a full stop also.
Like a full stop also. You actually don't really need to write it. We just want you to be able to read, to transliterate the words on it. But we just want you to know this is a full stop. This is a full stop.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Stephen.
Yes.
Line number 4, next to Lame, there is a line, a dash.
Oh no, this line here. You mean this line here? Or which
Further
one?
down, yeah, that one.
Yeah, right next to it on the right.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what you call a makef. Okay, makef. Don't worry about this one yet, right? It's spelled as MAQQEF. Let me type it down here. Makef. Okay, it works like a hyphen. It works like a hyphen. Okay, it works like a hyphen. This is called a makef. It works like a hyphen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Stephen, anymore? Maybe we can end with a prayer,
Yes,
and then
I
those who
think-
want to stay back to us, they can continue.
Okay. Yes. I think that's end. That's the end already.
Okay.
Okay.
We
So
end with
you want to end with a prayer? You can pray.
okay. Come,
Okay.
let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving Stephen and Ella the wisdom to teach. And oh Lord, I pray that all these participants, I'm sure that at this time, there are a lot of knowledge inside. And oh Lord, that help them, they're able to analyze it and apply it during their assignment. And oh Lord, that let them go through again the slides and recall all have taught them. Thank you, oh Lord, for these sessions. And oh Lord, that may your spirit with them, give them the wisdom to pick up this beautiful language, Hebrew, and they can read Bible in the original language. Thank you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay.
I remember, all of you please remember Stephen in for his eyes operation, cataract operation.
Yeah,
Even
getting
which
old.
eye?
Getting old. Cataract.
You're getting old. I've got
On the left eye,
done.
left eye. So if
Left
you see me next week, you probably be like that.
You have bionic eyes.
Yeah, bionic eyes is right.
I got 2.
Oh, okay, okay.
Josh, you just you need to give us the phone number before we Josh, you have to give us a phone number before you can
Join the chat group, is it?
you go chat group.
Is there any place where you can just get a little more information about that shui? What is
The
that?
schwa,
vocal?
schwa. Okay. We will post a video as well.
Confused.
Right? We'll post a video as well. Just remind us in case if we forget. But I think we should be able to post a video that will explain to you as well.
Yes, thank you. That's the only place is really confused me.
Yes, I know. A lot of people have problem with that. By right, actually, it should be one session by itself.
Yeah.
Because we were rushing through and as part of the, to do it in 2 sessions. Yeah.
And for the translation, is that becomes a part of it? We need to understand that, right?
Yes, you need to know whether it's a simple or vocal schwa.
So that's very confusing for me at the moment.
Yes, understand. We understand.
Yeah, today my brain is fried.
Yeah,
I was fried.
That's why I was laughing.
No,
It's okay.
It's
Just,
okay. I mean,
go
if you just
through it.
imagine, it took me 4 months to figure out all these things. I mean, I was looking at YouTube or reading up from the internet all over the places. Nothing could really help me because it all looks like tauge to me, bean sprouts. They all look like bean sprouts to me. But gradually, as I began to figure out, like some of the video that I showed you just now, some screenshot from there, that actually helps me a lot. So that's why when I put together this PowerPoint, I actually used some of the materials that helped me. And the mnemonics that I show you just now is all created. So it's not really taught in the books, textbooks, not in the textbooks.
Okay, so you have proven, I think the ladies have proven that they are better than men.
Yes,
better at studying.
No, I don't know. It's because, see, I learned under More, Stephen. So that's how I picked up. So he knew because he struggled. So he put in everything and we have picked up faster because of the commitment he has made. So I give him definitely got the glory and him the efforts that he has taken.
Amen.
I give him that.
Praise God for all of you. Thank you.
I think he's a good teacher, right, Stephen?
Am I?
Yeah, I think you are.
We have 2 very good teachers. Before they joined, I was just trying to put together a PowerPoint. I was just trying to put everything together. It was a bit messy, but they came in and then they just helped to organize also part of the slides as well, which I think is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I can catch up. And
yes,
everybody can. Just remember this. There's this thing in our brain. When we retire, okay, it becomes inactive. It's called the amygdala.
Yeah.
Okay, the amygdala. So what we need to do is to reactivate the amygdala. We need to reactivate the amygdala so the life can go on.
True.
Yeah. I believe I posted that in the chat group. You can take a look at the video.
Yes, you did. It's a good one.
Yes.
Good one. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We will see you in the chat group again. You can make it.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Bye.
for the good
Thank you.
teaching. Thank you.
Yes.
God bless you. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.